What's the word, y'all? We back with another article reaction. Two videos in less than like 20 hours, man. I'm on the grind. I mean, it's not a good thing though. I'm gonna let you in on a little YouTuber secret. Uploading two videos in a 24-hour span is actually pretty bad for the channel and the growth of it. So this might bite me in the butt. So leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. I've been doing a lot of post-game reactions to the NBA Finals and stuff. And of course, coming in to read these articles that are related to trades because I'm the biggest internet general manager. Would never be able to do it in real life, but grading other people's trades is something I do often. So be sure to leave a like. Trades that would shock every NBA fan base is from Greg Schwartz from Bleacher Report. So shout out to him. I'm going to say this right off rip. He is not saying that these are trades that can potentially happen, but interesting trades that can shock you. So I'm looking for shock value. And seeing these two players together means that he has James Harden getting traded to Philly for Josh Richardson and some other pieces. That would definitely shock you. And I think it's one for every team. Yeah, it's one for every team. So everybody eats in today's video. The Atlanta Hawks somehow get Giannis, giving up John Collins, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, Dwayne Dedman in the 6th overall pick. Sure. Trae Young and Giannis together? You still have Clint Capella? You still have Kevin Huerter? You know, you're going to have some shooting around him. But it's like Milwaukee. We're going to trade two-time NBA, not all-star, NBA MVP for like some good young guys. Do not get me wrong, in the 6th overall pick. This is like a hard reset in Milwaukee. And I'm sure all Milwaukee fans would hate that because I feel like Milwaukee has hit the reset button 1,000 times in their existence and only been like contenders for like a handful of years. So it would be hard for a Milwaukee Bucks fan to hit the reset again after having a two-time MVP and being a pretty good team. But that's interesting. That's an interesting value for MVP Giannis on the last year of his deal too. Keep that in mind. Then we have the Boston Celtics getting DeJounte Murray, LaMarcus Aldridge, and the 11th overall pick for Kemba Walker. Okay, Greg, I'm not saying your trades are good, but if shock value is what you're going for, you got it right here. The Boston Celtics trading away all-star starter Kemba Walker. Kemba's a good player, all-star caliber player, but probably not anything more than that. There's a lot of times this season in the playoffs where he was their third best player behind Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And in this trade, you get a little bit more not a little bit more defense. You get a better defensively, and you get younger. DeJounte Murray definitely would fit the growing up with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown timeline. And for somehow, they always end up having LaMarcus Aldridge end up in Boston. And again, I just don't like the fit of LaMarcus in Boston. Personally, the Spurs, I don't see why the Spurs trade their young, up-and-coming guard for an older guard, even though the older guard is obviously better. They're a team that should also be hitting that button. That button we just talked about with the Bucks. If Giannis walked into the office, they should also be hitting that button. And trading away DeJounte Murray is not hitting that button. He's one of the pieces you should be thinking about keeping. Next, the Brooklyn Nets, Chris Paul. This wouldn't be, actually, this would shock me. Especially then with the Taurean Prince, DeAndre Jordan, 19th overall pick. First of all, DeAndre Jordan is virtually untouchable because he's very good friends with Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and you don't want to piss off your best two players. But having Kyrie and Chris Paul in the same team would be something to see. 3 very great point guards in that locker room with Chris Paul, Kyrie, and Steve Nash. You know what I'm saying? Would they be able to make it work? Sure. Great players usually make it work to some extent. But like, nah, I think they'd probably rather have a better wing than having another ball dominant guard. Even though, again, we've seen Chris Paul play off ball a lot the last couple seasons. Charlotte Hornets trade up to the 1st overall pick, giving up number 3. No, wait. Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets trade up. They give up number 3, and they give up a 2020 lottery protected pick. Okay. Then would that shock me? No. I don't. No, that's not too shocking. I mean, we see people trade up from 3 to 1 all the time. We saw it with Jason Tatum and Markelle Fultz, right? So that wouldn't be too super shocking. The the Bulls getting Drew Holiday would be shocking. So it's Drew Holiday, Josh Hart, the 13th overall pick is what we're getting. We're giving up Kobe, OP, in the 4th overall pick. Drew Holiday is obviously a very good player, and I'm a big fan of Drew Holiday. Again, him and Mike Conley are two of the only players in the league that I have one of those jersey shirts of. So I'm a big fan of Drew Holiday. I don't know if I would trade this for him for this current Chicago Bulls team, right? So we trade for Drew Holiday. What does that get us? You know, did that get us to a playoff contention team? Sure, contention for sure. Playoff contention for sure. But probably not much more than that. I would much rather keep Kobe White for now and allow him to grow and turn that 4th overall pick into something else personally. But I don't speak for all Bulls fans. Some Bulls fans may see this and be super excited because I know that there's no consensus on Kobe White. There are Bulls fans that really absolutely love him, like me, and I also know Bulls fans that think he's like Alonzo Trier. I'm gonna do. So some Bulls fans may see this and enjoy this trade package. Personally, I would say no. Then we have the Cleveland Cavaliers getting Bradley Beal, but for what? So you'd have Bradley Beal, Kevin Love, and Drummond. I mean, yeah, you're probably a playoff team for sure, but like, you know? But okay, let's see what they get back. So Bradley Beal, ninth overall pick, goes to Cleveland. Then you get Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, the whole farm. Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Jetty Osman, Dante Exum, fifth overall pick, and another pick from Milwaukee that is top 10 protected. They give it up the whole farm for a team to be good enough to make the playoffs and maybe make the second round. Maybe make the second round. While the Wizards, of course, this would be hitting the reset. You get two guards where you already have John Wall coming back. I talked to John Wall yesterday, little flex, and he told me he is 120% healthy. I didn't want to tell him that's impossible, but I'm happy to hear that he's healthy, and he said he's going to be better than ever. But of course, that's something that players are going to say. But he felt like, you know what I'm saying? He gave the vibe that he meant it, but we'll see. So if he feels that he's going to be 100%, I would say that we're keeping Bradley Beal for at least another half a season to see how him and John Wall play together. Another thing that John Wall told me as we go to the next one, and I probably shouldn't be spoiling this because it's spoiling my show. What? Who cares? He told me that he has no intention of taking shots away from Bradley Beal, so expect Bradley Beal to have another 28, 29, 30 point per game season next year. He's just going to facilitate. Cool idea. So then we have Marcus Smart going to the Dallas Mavericks. And I mean, I like the fit of that, but why would Boston trade it away? Let's see what they get back. Maxi Kleber, Seth Curry, and the 31st overall pick. So second round, first pick. For the Boston Celtics, I believe that Marcus Smart is just like so much of the heart associated with the team that he is as important as a guy like Kemba. Obviously, Kemba is a very better NBA player, but like the heart, the defense, the guard all position. positions aspect of Marcus Smart, I would personally keep him on the team rather than trading him for. Obviously, this is more shooting for the team. That's maybe what they're going for. But Marcus Smart over the last couple seasons have improved his jump shot significantly. Enough that I feel confident with him being on the floor regardless of the situation. If we're down by 3, I'm cool with Marcus Smart being on the floor because I can trust him taking that shot as well. But obviously, Seth Curry's like the greatest three-point shooter of all time. So, Denver Nuggets get Blake Griffin in the second round pick for 2021 that from the Lakers for Gary Harris and Will Barton. This is interesting. And the reason this is interesting because there's two tales of Blake Griffin, right? There's a Blake Griffin from 2 years ago where he was an All-NBA player. He put Detroit Pistons on his back and made the playoffs, which is fire. And then you had last year's I almost said Brook Lopez, Blake Griffin, where he was not good whatsoever when he was healthy. Like go look at his shooting splits, go look at his games. He just was not very good last season. So you'd be taking a gamble trying to get 2 years ago Blake Griffin, but the package you are giving up is not anything of crazy significance at the end of the day. I'm guessing that this means that you're letting Paul Millsap walk because Blake Griffin has one of the biggest contracts in the league, and maybe even letting Jerry and Grant walk. And if that's the case, then maybe I don't do this deal. But Gary Harris is cool. He's an elite defender, but not much more than that. Will Barton is good. I like Will Barton, but you saw how far they were without him. So you can make the argument that, boom, you can slide Michael Porter Jr. over to the 3. Blake Griffin, Jokic. I don't know who's playing the 2 for you. I don't know who playing the 2 for you, but you make that work. Jamal Murray, and I like the idea of this trade. If we believe that we can get back to that Blake Griffin, that'd be beautiful. Don't hate this trade. I don't hate this trade. And if the Detroit Pistons are looking to get off Blake Griffin's money, you get a guy who's like 26 years old and Gary Harris, who potentially could have a restart to his offensive career in Detroit. And then Will Barton, again, like I mentioned, is a good player. I don't hate this trade. The Pistons, Oh, no, I hate this one, though. Yeah, I hate this one. Yeah. I really hate this one. From my perspective, from a Chicago Bulls fan, 7th overall pick, Luke Kennard and Tony Snell. No, thank you. But from the Detroit Pistons, you adding him, trying to get into playoff contention with hopefully a good Blake. Again, in this hypothetical situation, this is the only trade they do with the healthy Blake. Sekou, year number 2. Derrick Rose and Zach LaVine. I pass. Warriors. Oh, this is an interesting trade. Okay, so the Warriors get Al Horford, who, again, I'm not sold that on the idea that Al Horford is washed now. I do think there's a lot still in the tank for Al Horford. I just think that he had a terrible fit in Philly. Some picks that are second rounders for Wiggins, straight up.